Ooh, that was a lot of them.
Okay. I'm a Green Bay fan. She's a
Saints fan. Saints fan.
Which they haven't won in a while, so you can understand that. She's still praying about that.
I have faith.
I'm an entrepreneur. I have a business, a landscaping business, and a nonprofit. I do a lot of workshops for men, for boys. I got fatherhood programs I'm starting next year. Just a lot of work.
And I am a licensed clinical professional counselor, and I work in the Department of Psychiatry at a hospital. And so I do a lot of workshops in the community in regards to stress and mental health, because I just want people in our community to know about mental health and to access treatment and to get the help that they need. So I love it.
What about Anointed Wives?
And I also have a ministry called Anointed Wives Ministry, and it's a ministry specifically for married women as well as single women who are on the path towards marriage. We've been doing it since 2009, and the reason that I started it was because when I got married, the ladies that I spoke to about marriage were very negative. They had nothing positive to say about marriage. So as I prayed about it, God told me to start something. I started the Anointed Wives Ministry, and we do a weekly prayer call to encourage women in the area of marriage. It's at 5 a.m. Yes, it's early, but the devil is busy all the time, so it's good for us to do that, get up early every weekend. And we have a lot of things to just encourage women in regards to marriage. My t-shirt is one of them. It says, I love my husband, and so God made it so we were there at the same time. So that's what I often tell single ladies. While you're single, you should be working and not looking. So as you work, then God will send the man to find you. So that'll be out.
I saved her.
Yes, you saved me.
You need to be saved twice.
Oh
wow, dating.
Now, if we can agree on this will be a miracle. Chris and I were best friends. After we met, we were best friends for 3 years. Okay. But when we were best friends, we did everything together. So it was like we were dating, but we were not dating. We were like, this is my best friend. This is my best friend. And so at one point I was like, okay, well, we do everything together. And like, if he was to bring up a female name or something, I would be in my head, I'm like, well, I know he's not talking to me about no female. But I would sit down and I was like, oh, that's nice. That's lovely. That's great. And so at one point we decided to date, but then it wasn't working. It was messing with our friendship. So we was like, no, we're gonna go back to just being friends. And so then, but we still kept doing the same thing like we were dating. And so then finally one day I was like, you know what, either we're gonna date or not. And so Chris was like, I need to go into prayer and talk to the Lord. And I was like, you got 2 days to talk to the Lord, okay?
Let me give you the real story. Hold on. She was always coming over my house, right? And I was cooking breakfast. I'm like, when are you going to invite me to your house to eat or take me out to eat? Because all you doing is eating my food. So I was wondering what's going on every time you come to my house and eating. And like she said, the friendship was really good. I knew what type of person she was. I knew I could trust her, so that's what made us so close to each other. And she gave me an ultimatum. She said, look, I don't know what you gonna do, but I ain't finna play these games. I said, I ain't playing no games now. I don't know if we should date, but I said, she said, I'm gonna give you a week. And let me know an answer. I said, I need 2 weeks. I had some stuff in me I need to get out, and just some things I need to clear up in my mind.
For me.
Then if I, admit that it was me, even though it may not be me at the end of everything, and be quiet, peace.
Peace.
So, I'm wrong. I take the blame because at the end of the day, I'm still ahead. I take the responsibility of the situation. So, but
I'll just take one for the team. So, he takes a lot for the team. So,
describe your marriage in one word.
Purposeful. I describe it as purposeful because the funny thing, what made me really into Felicia was when we was friends. One day I came home and it was a box at my door with 50 Bibles, and because I knew her, she knew my spirit, and I knew her. She knew what I was passionate about, giving Bibles to young men and teaching them the Word and trying to change their lives. She started focusing on what my mission was, and she started to pour into that. So she was actually a helpmate before she became a helpmate.
It's a million plans, but he always has something that he's working towards. So I would say, Chris, the one word is visionary.
That's a good choice, though.
I thought you would like that.
I do.
Which ways are you different from your spouse, and which ways are you alike?
Oh, Jesus.
Different?
Let's see.
Like all the ways?
We have
But,
enough time for that. No. I would say that we're different in just how we, our perception of things. So, like, for instance, like Chris and I could be talking about New Orleans. And Chris, have you ever been to New Orleans?
No.
Okay, Chris has never been to New Orleans, but Chris will argue you down about New Orleans. And I'm like, as evidenced by what, Chris? You've never been there. He's like,
Look,
well, I just know. I just know.
I Google, do research.
I just know. I'm like, well, I've been there. So I think I know a little bit about it because I've been there. So I think our perception and the way we see things, like when you look at a glass, one person sees it half full, one person sees it half empty. So I think that's how we're different. I think we're alike because we both are visionaries and actionaries. Mm-hmm. So he gets the vision, and I put it to action, and so I think we work together very well in regards to that's how we're alike. That's what I think. What do you think, honey?
I think we both are passionate about people and helping people's lives, especially marriages. And at the end of the day, we really helping not just marriages and families, generations. So we really alike in that area. Different, like apples and oranges.
And hot and cold.
Right, hot and cold. Because she's always hot, and I'm always cold. So,
right.
I mean, she's a planner, but sometimes she overplans and don't have order. And I like to make it real simple, just go right into it. And that's why I think we complement each other, because I sit back, I already know what she's doing and where she need me at. When she fall back, like, dang, I got so much going on. I say, look, see, all you gotta do is this. All you gotta do is this.
That's true.
Even though I don't know New Orleans, I know that you go the information. You just apply it and you be good. So it works out like that.
That's true. You do. That's
What
good.
keeps your marriage solid?
The word.
God. Yeah, that's what keeps it. Yeah, God. I would say God. God is our foundation. When we met each other, we both had a strong foundation in the Word of God. We both had an active prayer life. We already knew the Lord. So that's what keeps us rooted and grounded. So whenever we have tough situations or dark moments, I go to my daddy and I'm like, look, you better holler at your boy, because I'm not feeling this. So please talk to him in a language that he can interpret, okay?
And it's so funny about that, because you can't, she says she go to her father, and she can't go to him without going about herself first. So I don't even go to God about her, because when he said, what about you? What did you not do, or what did you not plan or focus on when you know the situation is going to happen? Because a lot of times when stuff happens in marriage, especially our marriage, because it's always something that may happen the next day. So, God said, forget those things, leave them in the past. So I just leave stuff in the past. So.
Yeah, but sometimes you forget what we're supposed to do too. So
That's why you the planner you got on the calendar for 2018. Get to work.
Were there times of darkness in your marriage? If so, how did you handle it?
I would say yes, there was times of darkness in our marriage because shortly after we got married, so we got married in December, and Chris lost his job in July. And so I would say that was a dark moment for us, because we had all these plans and goals and stuff. And we were like, okay, we're going to pay this off. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. And I was like, what now? So it was a dark moment, because I didn't know how. And I'm a control freak. So I like to have control over things. And so not having that control was a dark moment for me. But we got through that dark moment, or I got through that dark moment, because I don't think Chris saw it as a dark moment, by just praying and relying on God and talking to my to other wives, who had been through similar situations, and they just encouraged me during that time. And Chris, his level of faith was is off the chain. I think that was one of the things that drew me to him. So during that time, he would always be like, "I did. He's gonna take care of us. I'm not even worried about it." If they say my unemployment gonna end, then it's gonna end. But my daddy gonna take care of us. And unemployment went for like what 2.5 years,
almost 4 years,
almost 4 years, which
about
people don't understand how that happened. But God provided for us. So I would say that would be that was a little dark moment for us.
And I think because she didn't know, like a lot of people, what's ahead, because we was actually going to look house hunting, and it was a lot of stuff we was doing at that same time. And the next thing you know, I don't know if it was the next week or whatever, I got fired, and I knew it was God because nobody got fired like I got fired before. And I filed paperwork, and it was just a mess. But at the end of the day, he said, I got a plan for you. So I knew the plan. He said, go start a landscape business because you did it once. And I did that, and God just opened doors in that area. He said, look, I want you to focus and work on your purpose, because he said your gift will make room for you. So I started doing the workshop. We actually started a nonprofit in church in 2006, and it dissolved. So I went back and got it and reinstated and everything else, and went from there and started doing those things. And it's so funny. I'm 36. It seemed like I learned my purpose at 35. It took 35 years, but because I learned that, I didn't have to go try to look for jobs or anything else. I started operating in what I was designed to do. So that really took a lot off her as well as me, because she was able to help me in what I was designed to do, and God opened doors. So that dark moment, to her, I already seen the plan, because the house, our car, everything worked out exactly how God showed me. And she was like, no, I don't believe that. We had a contract on the house. Hold on, we had a contract on the house in Masson, and she wanted that. And I said, no, we're going to take the contract off. God told me to take it off. She said, what are you talking about? We want that house. And she's actually working in the area of wives, with the wives. It helps build our marriage. And that itself is build a legacy of developing, strengthening, and making a kingdom marriage. And we want people to remember that as a legacy.
Right. And I think for us, like our kids, our small kids are 3 and 5. Yeah. And so, and my 5-year-old, he is so funny. He's like, for Anointed Wives, our slogan is marriage rocks. And our 5-year-old walks around the house with, where you guys going? And I said, we're going to marriage ministry. He was like, marriage rocks. And so I think what we want the legacy that we want to leave to people, that a marriage does rock. But when we say marriage rocks, a lot of people give me slack for that, because they're like, well, my marriage don't rock. It's on the rocks. It'll say rock so much, I rock right out of it, and things like that. But we always, our thoughts is that your marriage rocks, but when you get through when you endure those rocky times, then that's the time when you go to the rock. And so I think what we want couples to leave, the legacy that we want to leave, is that we want people to know that there is a possibility for African Americans to have successful marriages, to have fun, that when you get married, it's not a death sentence, and that so that the younger people will desire what we have. Because what I hear a lot of young people saying is, I'm good, I don't ever have to do that, because they made it seem so horrible. So I think I want more people to get married as a result of our marriage, and stay married, not just say I do and then decide you don't. So
yeah, that's good stuff. No, but I mean, when you think about it, it's the whole family structure. Because marriage, you got the man, you got the wife, and you may not have kids, but you may have kids. But if you don't have that family structure, then that's like you have no community. You have no nation. So that's why